Estamos con Steve Wozniak, que es ni más ni menos que el co-creador de Apple junto a Steve Jobs y aparte el padre de la computadora personal como la conocemos hoy. Steve, thanks for being with us. You're one of the fathers of the personal computer, and nowadays this might be our personal computer. What do you see of your work here in the cell phone?
Actually, the methodology of computers is the same, but it's been reduced down to chips because of Moore's law. So what I used to build and design is a tiny, tiny fraction of what's in a machine now. You call this a computer. Now, when I built a computer, it was a computer to be, as Alan Kay said, the bicycle of the mind. A human being cannot equal the energy output of any other animal, hardly, unless, but on a bicycle, it exceeds them all in how much energy one human can create. So the bicycle of the mind, it means a computer that you can create things on. You can do architecture, you can design circuits and whatever, and programs. You don't program these machines. This is more a communication to the world, the things that we want in our human life. Apple has become a lifestyle company. How do humans live? And where is the computer? It takes a computer to do those things. The computer is way out there on the internet somewhere. Call it the cloud, whatever. It's in big data centers full of racks and racks and racks
and
of machinery.
Still working with those?
And those computers are doing all of that. They take the information, they calculate it like it's coming off of disks. They calculate it and come out with the answers, and they send it to your phone to display it. So a lot of people don't realize they still have their personal computer, but it's somewhere else. And this is just the display. So we've kind of moved to a real modern world where all you want is the display. And that was really a key part. I know Steve Jobs is thinking way different than a lot of the world.
Do you think nowadays, with all the access to technology, help people to be more creative?
I hope so, but to be creative, you have to have a goal of what to create. And sometimes it takes away those goals by it's already been done. You know, we used to say that to be creative, you had to learn a lot of things, like who learns cursive handwriting anymore? An awful lot of cities and states and countries are dropping even learning cursive because the machines don't work that way. You know, being able to remember a lot of details, anything you want to remember, you can look up on Google instantly. So it's, you know, it's what is creativity? Creativity, I think, that's making brand new things. Somebody who's a writer always had a typewriter. And does this allow them to be more creative in their writing? Well, when we got up to computers, you had word processors. Oh, I can change these paragraphs around. I can change things after I've written them once. So it might have made you higher quality, but I don't think more creative. The amount of creativity that I see coming out of humankind, new ideas, new products, new ways to live life.
Do you see Steve Wozniak's around the computer scene, eager to change the world that you did?
Every once in a while at a university, I see somebody who is, whoa, so knowledgeable and has built a whole bunch of machines, builders. There's a category of people called makers, and they love to get little boards and hook wires these and connect them to motors and come up with their own ideas and make stuff that doesn't necessarily have value, but their education of how to make the equipment, they're going to be making all the equipment that runs factories, that delivers materials, self-driving cars, and all that stuff. They're out there. It's hard to identify them. I think, how would I have identified myself back then? And yet I knew that I was, you know, for computer design, I knew that I was doing tricks that nobody else in the world could do better than me. You can never say nobody couldn't equal you, but it was just so unusual because they're not in books. Who writes the books themselves? So it's a very independent person, and they may not be recognized well in school, because in school you have to have the same answer as everything else. That's the opposite of creativity, having the same answer as everyone else in the STEM subjects.
Well, which do you think is the next revolution? Where do you see the focus of the future?
Clearly artificial intelligence being applied to everything we have and being applied on its own. I like to ask questions the way a human asks, and I like to get answers that make sense to a human, and that means I've got to be talking to a machine that really has more of a human response. We're programming things right now that are closer to it. We're simulating intelligence, we're acting intelligent, but it doesn't, I can trick it, and it doesn't have feelings still. We're not quite to that point, but everybody in the world is trying. Every big company like Apple and Google and Microsoft working very heavily to have in this area of artificial intelligence, and you'll just walk up and speak to any machine in any language and get what you want out.
We see you when there's new iPhones go to the line, like any normal person do. Like you weren't one of the creators of the brand. Why is that?
I have a spirit. I like to have fun in life, and I like to go to sometimes an important movie the night that it opens. I'll go to a midnight showing. Well, if Apple's introducing a product and it's a very highlight thing to me, I like to be one of the first.
They
I've
don't give it
always-
to you. You cannot call
even
Mr. Apple today. I mean,
probably
Tim
could.
Cook, and
I probably could, but I don't believe in doing that. I never wanted to be a person who gets freebies and gets special privilege in life. I don't even like the big money type, billionaire type people. I made sure I'm not one of those. Gave it away to all my money away to good purposes and things. No, I want to live like a normal person who's a fun person.